All right, so the next thing we're going to start talking about is equal matrices. So this says when two matrices are equal, they are of the same order and corresponding elements are equal. So if two matrices are declared to be equal, the two matrices must be of the same order and corresponding elements are equal. Once two matrices are equal, corresponding elements are equal, and the two matrices must be of the same order. All right, here's a little question. This says A is the matrix 1, 2, minus 3, 4, B, 0, 2, minus 1, 5, C, A, 12, minus 4B. Given that AB, so the matrix product AB is equal to C, we're to determine the value of A and of B. Given that the matrix product AB is equal to C, we're to determine the value of A and B. So let's do that. We're told that AB so A is 1, 2, minus 3, 4, multiplied by B, we have 0, 2, minus 1, 5. We're told that the matrix product AB is equal to the matrix C, which is A, 12, minus 4B. All right. So let's multiply the two matrices. When you have a question like this, what you actually do is that you're going to get two matrices which are equal to each other, facing each other. And then once you do that, then you're going to compare corresponding elements. So the first thing you want to do is you want to multiply A and B on the left. All right, so we're going to multiply A by B. So whenever you multiply two matrices, you multiply the rows of the first matrix by the columns in the second matrix. Whenever you multiply two matrices, you multiply the rows of the first matrix by the columns in the second matrix. How do you multiply? So we're going to multiply row by column. How do we multiply a row by column? We multiply the first element in the row by the first element in the column. Then the second element in the row by the second element in the column. All right. So the first element in the row is 1. The first element in the column is 0. So we're going to start by multiplying 1 by 0. So 1 multiplied by 0 is 0. Then we're going to multiply the second element in the row 2 by the second element in the column minus 1. 2 times minus 1 is minus 2. So I just multiplied the top row by the left column. Whenever we multiply a row by a column, we're going to get an element in the answer. If I multiply the top row by the left column, I'm going to get the top left element in the answer. So next, I'm going to multiply the same top row, but this time by the right column. So this is the first element in the column and the second element in the column. So we're multiplying a row by a column. And what we do is we multiply the first element in the row by the first element in the column. So that is 1 times 2 is 2. Then we multiply the second element in the row 2 by the second element in the column 5. 2 times 5 is 10. So next, we're going to multiply. Next, we're going to switch now to the bottom row and the left column. If I multiply the bottom row by the left column, I'm going to get the bottom left element in the answer. How do we multiply a row by a column? We multiply the first element in the row by the first element in the column, then the second element in the row by the second element in the column. So minus 3 times 0 is 0, and 4 times minus 1 is minus 4. Now the same bottom row, but this time multiply by the right column. First element in the row by the first element in the column, and the second element in the row by the second element in the column. So minus 3 times 2 is minus 6. Second element in the row 4 by the second element in the column by the second element in the column 5. So it's 4 times 5, which is 20. All right, so this is AB, and this is equal to C, which is A 12 minus 4B. So let's work out the left side. We have minus 2 here, 12 here, minus 4 here, 14 here. And that's the matrix product AB, and it is equal to the matrix C, which is A 12 minus 4B. So now, if two matrices are equal, corresponding elements are equal. So what that means is that A, which is the top left element on the right, is equal to minus 2, which is the top left element on the left. And B, which is the bottom right element on the right, is equal to 14, which is the bottom right element on the left. Guys, if two matrices are equal, they are of the same order and corresponding elements are equal. The word corresponding there means in the same position. So once you have two matrices which are equal facing each other, corresponding elements are equal. So A, which is the top left element on the right, is equal to minus 2, which is the top left element on the left. Guys, with that in mind, please attempt B. All right, so in B, we're told that the product of these two matrices is the column matrix 2B17. All right, so the two matrices, one is a 3x2 matrix, the other is a 2x1 matrix. And if I multiply a 3x2 matrix by a 2x1 matrix, I should end up with a 3x1 matrix. All right. So let's multiply. Let's multiply, we have only one column to multiply, and we have 3 rows. So we're going to multiply the first row by the column. So it's 2 times A. Remember, the first element in the row by the first element in the column, and the second element in the row by the second element in the column. So 2 times A is 2A. That's the first element in the row times the first element in the column. And 0 times 5 is 0. That's the second element in the row by the second element in the column. So I just multiplied the top row by the one column. Next, I'm going to multiply the middle row by the same column. So if I multiply the middle row by the column, I'm going to end up with the middle value. All right, so you're going to multiply the first element in the row by the first element in the column. So minus 1 times A is minus A. and 1 times 5 is 5. All right. And lastly now, I'm going to multiply the bottom row by the same column. So minus 3 times A is minus 3A, and 4 times 5 is 20. Now, this matrix product is equal to the matrix on the right, which is 2B17. So I would have told you, if two matrices are equal, corresponding elements are also equal. So what that means is that 2A, which is the top left element, which is the top element on the left, would be equal to the top element on the right, which is 2. If I divide both sides by 2, I'm going to get that A is equal to 1. The second part of the question, minus A plus 5, that's the middle element, is equal to B. But remember, A is equal to 1. So this is minus 1 plus 5 is equal to B. Now, minus 1 plus 5 is positive 4. So B is equal to positive 4. So 1 is equal to A and B is equal to positive 4. Guys, can you please try C and type your answers in the chat? All right, so let's have a look at C. So this matrix product, we're multiplying a 1 by 2 matrix by a 2 by 2 matrix, and we should end up with another 1 by 2 matrix. So we're multiplying the one row by the two columns, 1, 2, 1, 2. So we're multiplying the one row by the left column. Minus 1 times P is minus P, and 3 times minus 3 is minus 9. Then I'm going to multiply the same one row by the right column. Minus 1 times 1 is minus 1. 3 times Q is 3Q. And this, we're told, is equal to minus 11, 12. So these two row matrices are equal. They are both 1 by 2 matrices. And if two matrices are equal, corresponding elements are equal. So that means that minus P minus 9 is equal to minus 11. So the left element on the left is equal to the left element on the right. So let's take my P over to the right. We have minus 9 plus 11 is equal to P. And so P is equal to 2. So P is equal to 2. Now over to the right, we have minus 1 plus 3Q, which is the right element, and this would be equal to 12. Minus 1 on the left goes over to the right and becomes positive. So we have 3Q is equal to 12 plus 1. 3Q is equal to 13. Then if I divide both sides by 3, I'm going to get that Q is equal to positive 13 over 3, or I could say 4 and 1/3. Q is equal to 4 over 1/3.